Good evening. Welcome to the April 7th, 2025 meeting of the Stillwater City Council. This time I will call this meeting to order, and I'll ask that you all stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. It's an exciting week in Stillwater, and it's an exciting night tonight. We've got a number of proclamations and presentations to give tonight, so we're going to kick things off. First up, to recognize Stillwater Regional Airport and Director Kelly Reed for their recent prestigious awards from the Oklahoma Airport Operators Association. The airport received the Airport of the Year Award, recognizing outstanding contributions to the aviation community in Oklahoma. With our new terminal underway and set to open in August of 2026, attaining this incredible honor was no small feat. It speaks to the leadership and teamwork that Airport Director Kelly Reed continues to develop and strengthen. Kelly also received a much-deserved honor named the Airport Director of the Year from the OAOA. At this time, I'd like to invite Kelly and her guests to come to the podium and tell us a little bit more.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council members. This was quite an unexpected honor and surprise last week at the Oklahoma Airport Operators Association conference. We're just very blessed to receive this, and I'm personally just grateful and blessed for the opportunity to support and serve the city of Stillwater. We have an outstanding team. We couldn't do what we do without all of our team, and we brought most of our leadership team. We have one out sick tonight, but to accept the award.
Excellent. Congratulations. It's definitely well received. We're so excited about what's happening out there and what will be open here in the next, 18 months or so, when that terminal is going to be fantastic. So thanks so much.
Introduce your folks.
So I've got Devin Shiplett. He's our security supervisor. Brandon Ingham, our operations supervisor. And Doug Nichols, our maintenance supervisor. And missing tonight is Serge Walzak, our operations manager.
All right. Thank you all for being here. Let's take a quick picture. Next up, we have a proclamation in recognition of Fair Housing Month. Whereas April 1st, 2025 marks the 57th anniversary of the passage of the U.S. Fair Housing Law, Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1968 as amended, which enunciates a national policy of fair housing without regard to race, color, creed, religion, national origin, gender, familial status, sexual orientation, and handicap, and encourages fair housing opportunities for all residents. And whereas the City of Stillwater is committed to supporting the Fair Housing Law, Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act, by continuing to address discrimination in our community and to support programs that will educate the public about the right to equal housing opportunities and to assure every resident of their right to fair housing. Now, therefore, I, William Joyce, Mayor of the City of Stillwater, Oklahoma, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Fair Housing Month in Stillwater and urge all residents to support fair housing throughout the year. I think we have a representative from the Housing Authority? No? Is Tony here? Here you are.
We do.
Good evening. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. We're just, the Housing Authority of the City of Stillwater is very thankful to everyone here that we are able to do this. Our staff does training every year to update our fair housing techniques and to see if there's anything new out there that we need to learn. And we have a really good relationship with the landlords and with the residents of the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Next up, we have a proclamation in recognition of the Week of the Young Child. There are some young children here to help celebrate. Whereas the Early Childhood Coalition of Stillwater, in conjunction with the National Association for the Education of Young Children, are celebrating the Week of the Young Child, April 5th through 11th, 2025. And whereas by highlighting the need for high-quality early care and education for all children and families within our communities and the state, these groups are committed to the early care and education system in Oklahoma that will ensure every child beginning at birth is healthy and successful. And whereas the latest research on brain development and how children learn, and what we know about the return on investments in young children, we fully support the need for access to high-quality early care and educational services. And whereas the future of our communities, economy, and state depends on the quality of and access to early care and educational opportunities provided to young children today. And whereas we must recognize that vital work of early care and education professionals and express our gratitude for their service and support and their efforts to ensure fair compensation. Now, therefore, I, William Joyce, Mayor of the City of Stillwater, do hereby proclaim April 5th through 11th, 2025 as the Week of the Young Child in Stillwater. Our representatives, I think we have, well, Amy Harden's here, Carolyn McAllister, and and more.
Oh, come on.
Kaya Butcher.
Kaya Butcher.
Yes. All right. So, my name is Kaya Butcher, and I'm the president of the Early Childhood Coalition. And like you said, our mission is to foster community efforts like these to help promote growth and development in young children. And we are happy to serve the almost 5,000 children here in Payne County. Joining me today is retired pediatrician Amy Harden, our amazing treasurer Lisa Cundiff. We have Carolyn McAllister of HCHC, and my amazing kiddos, who I'm pretty partial to. This proclamation just brings much needed attention to childhood care as well as education, which are both key in helping our youngest learners reach their full potential. And as a community, every action, no matter how big or small, plays a significant role in shaping a child's future. So thank you all for helping us to support our community's youngest members and to help bring a brighter tomorrow for all.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Do you want to get a picture?
That's a picture of the day right there.
All right. Next up, we have a proclamation.
Hi guys.
Hey, we have guests. Excellent. Just in time. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
We're going to proclaim it Red Dirt Music Week in the City of Stillwater this week. I don't know if you guys have heard, everybody out there, but we're having some concerts and a little bit of a reunion this week. So we're really excited about that. I'll go ahead and read the proclamation, and then if you all would like to say anything, we'd love to have you. And, but yeah, want to recognize Red Dirt music. Whereas the Red Dirt music genre has been a significant cultural and musical movement rooted in the heart of America, Stillwater, Oklahoma, and is known for its blend of country, rock, folk, and blues, influencing artists and communities across the country. And whereas Red Dirt music reflects the spirit and authenticity of the people, celebrating storytelling, deep-rooted traditions, and a sense of home, all of which have made it a cornerstone of American music. And whereas Red Dirt Music Week fosters community engagement, promotes economic development locally and regionally, and provides opportunities for both established and up-and-coming artists to showcase their talents. And whereas through performances, festivals, educational events, and community outreach, Red Dirt Music Week continues to highlight the immense contributions of Red Dirt musicians to the broader music industry. And whereas this celebration honors the perseverance, creativity, and dedication of the Red Dirt community, whose music resonates across generations and will continue to inspire future artists and music lovers for years to come. Now, therefore, I, William Joyce, Mayor of the City of Stillwater, do hereby proclaim April 7th through 13th, 2025 as Red Dirt Music Week in Stillwater as we celebrate the rich traditions and cultural legacy through events, the Boys from Oklahoma concert series, and support for local artists. We have several guests with us here tonight to help us celebrate Red Dirt Music Week. First up, from Cross Canadian Ragweed, we have Cody Cross. Cody Canada, Grady Cross, I know you guys. Randy Ragsdale and their family, Shannon Canada, Dirks Canada, and Willie Canada. That's what I have on the list. There you guys are. We also have John Cooper from the Red Dirt Rangers back with us. We have Tanya Little, who's an author of the series What is Red Dirt Music Anyway? And part 3 of that series, a new book, Moving Beyond Stillwater in Oklahoma, is coming out this week, next week? Volume 1. Excellent. Thank you. And then we also have the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame Executive Director, Tony Corbell, and Vice President of the Board, Megan Harriman, here with us as well. So, love to have any of you all say a few words if you'd like about Red Dirt, or we can just do a photo or whatever you guys want to do.
Sing a song.
John, are you the...
Wow. Thanks for honoring us. The entire scene, this was a music that started here in Stillwater a long time ago. A lot of people put it together, and I couldn't be prouder of how far it's come. We started at a little old place out here out west of town called The Farm, with no aspirations of anything other than creating good music for us and our friends to enjoy and have a good time. Stillwater was a much different place back then, but to see how it's grown and how it's gone not only from Stillwater throughout the state, around the country, around the world. And this is the biggest moment for our scene. And thank you all for having this day, this proclamation. It's great to see my friends. Wow.
Appreciate you being here.
Come a long way.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just add briefly, we've had some recent tragedy here in Stillwater, and John and the Red Dirt Rangers have been out at benefit concerts playing. I know Cross Canadian Ragweed and the other artists that we're going to have this week have been instrumental in efforts to help raise money for that event, for sure, but also have been sponsoring local businesses and putting out content with local businesses to help engage folks through this concert this week and this series of concerts this week. So it's really great to see this not just be about everybody in the community coming out and seeing a show, but this show and this scene and music, Red Dirt music itself, being such an integral part of the community here in Stillwater, throughout Oklahoma, and really throughout the country. So we really appreciate your efforts along that path.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We love this. I'm saying it. We love this city. I mean, if it wasn't for, I say it all the time, if it wasn't for the city, I wouldn't have anything. I wouldn't have my band or my family or any of my friends. So thank you very much for allowing us to do this. And the very first thing that I told everybody when we signed up for this was we're going to do our best to bring a lot of money to local businesses in Stillwater. So thank you guys for the honor.
Appreciate it.
Here. Thank you.
Let's take a picture. Copies of this for most of them.
Okay.
You guys have to share one.
All right. I would also like my record expunged, please.
For the Hall of Fame. Can we do a group picture?
Where do you want everybody? Do you want over there?
Over here. Yeah.
And you can pay your unpaid traffic tickets at the door.
Now you guys have to sit here for the rest of the city council meeting.
She's like, get now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all so much. Great to have you. All right. That takes us to item 4 on the agenda, which is our consent docket. Counselors, questions, comments, or action on the consent docket?
Motion to approve the consent docket.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Please vote. The vote of 5-0, the consent docket is approved. Item 7 is a public hearing. Receive public comment regarding a request from Independent School District Number 16 for a closing of a portion of a general utility drainage and pedestrian easement at the property located at 410 West Franklin Avenue. This is CC-25-58. Did we have good notice on this item?
Yes, we do.
Mr. Brown.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council members. I am Josh Brown. I am the Development Coordinator with Development Services here in the City of Stillwater. And as you mentioned, this is for a closing of a portion of a general utility, drainage, and pedestrian easement located at 410 West Franklin Lane. Here's an area map showing the property's location at the northeast corner of North Boomer Road and West Franklin Lane. This is an aerial view. The current Stillwater High School campus is located directly to the south across that Franklin Lane, and Boomer Lake is located to the north, just out of the picture. This is a street view from Franklin, showing the old Cimarron. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the old Cimarron Plaza. These buildings have been demolished. Here's an exhibit showing the easement to be closed, shaded in gray. And I didn't mention, but this is for the building of the new high school. The closing is for approximately 8,572 square feet. That's what this easement is. And then utilities have been abandoned and relocated. And this is to be closed to allow for expansion of that building. Stephen Ghost with Ghost & Associates is the applicant's engineer and is here to speak on this item. Do you have any questions for staff?
Counselors, any questions? Thank you, Josh. This time I'll open the public hearing. Mr. Ghost, if you'd like to speak on behalf of the school district.
Good evening, counselors. Stephen Ghost, Ghost & Associates, 113 East 8th Avenue. Here to talk on behalf of the applicant. Bo Gamble's here as well if there's questions I can't handle or if I go sideways. So, like Josh said, this is a closure of a partial closure of an easement. The new building, the north wing, extends into this area. There were water and sewer lines in that area that have been relocated to the southwest. So we're trying to get this closed to clear the permit on the building, and there will be a subsequent application you guys will see to clean up all the easements that are out there in that area. So if there's any questions, I can try to answer them.
I assume there's a new easement that this stuff has moved into, or?
Yeah, it's not shown on that exhibit, but it extends from the west into that south and then southeast through what's the new parking area.
Okay.
So we've relocated a new water line and a new sewer line that drain. The sewer line drains from High Point and the Remington Ranch apartments down through there, and the water line comes from Boomer over in south, and there's some lines to the north that are getting rebuilt as well.
So are those new easements all going to be in the cleanup, or have they already been?
They're part of the cleanup. The city does have a copy of the meets and bounds the draft easement for the new water lines and sewer that's currently in place. But with the cleanup, right now the plan is just to plat the whole thing. It's not platted. All these easements were dedicated in a very roundabout, weird way that there's nothing clean to be able to recreate those easements. So.
Further questions?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I don't have anyone else signed up to speak at this hearing. Is anyone else here planning to speak at this hearing? Bo? No? All right, I'll close the public hearing. Josh, is there a staff recommendation?
Yes. Staff recommends approving the proposed closing.
Thank you. Counselors?
Motion to accept staff recommendations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the staff's recommendation. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, that item is approved. Item 8 is ordinances on first read. We have ordinance 3564. Surprise, surprise. An ordinance closing a portion of a general utility, drainage, and pedestrian easement located on attractive land lying at the northwest quarter of Section 11, Township 19 North, Range 2 East of the Indian Meridian, Payne County, State of Oklahoma, address is 410 West Franklin Lane. This is the ordinance for the last item.
Motion to advance ordinance number 3564.
Second.
With motion and a second to advance the ordinance, please vote. Ordinance is advanced with a vote of 5-0. From a previous meeting, we have an ordinance on second read, ordinance 3563, an ordinance rezoning attractive land located at 814, 816, 818, and 820 North Lincoln Street, 822 and 824 North Lincoln Street, and 1102, 1104, 1106, 1108, and 1110 West Tyler Avenue from two-family and multifamily and two-family residential to two-family and multifamily. Councilors?
I move adoption of ordinance 3563.
Second.
A motion and a second to adopt. Please vote. Ordinance 3563 is adopted with a vote of 5-0. Reports from the officers and the board. Ms. Carnley.
Yes, a request for an executive session pursuant to 25 OS Section 307B1 for the purpose of discussing the employment, hiring, appointment, promotion, demotion, disciplining, or resignation of City Attorney Kimberly Carnley, and also a request for an executive session under the same authority for the City Manager Brady Moore.
Thank you. Mr. Moore.
Yes, Mayor, since we met last time, our voters have approved a bond, and so we're extremely grateful for our voters for participating in that democratic process, and the animal welfare bond passed by more than 74%, and so we just are so grateful for the support and our voters. We're grateful for the members of the Time Action Committee for their service, hard work, and their commitment to increase awareness about the bond proposition and for a new animal welfare facility. So much like when the fire station passed in 2022, staff quickly begins working on the development, the engineering, the design, and the development of the project. So we are beginning that for the animal welfare facility. We're really excited to bring that to our community and address those needs that we've all identified. So thank you for the council support and for our voters turning out.
Excellent. That was a wonderful approval for the future of Stillwater. I would love to see on the page, I know one of the slides that we saw as part of presentations before all this was like the future timeline. I don't know if that's up on a project page yet on the website, but I have had a lot of people saying, okay, when does it open? Well,
Next week.
let me explain. It will take a little while. Oh, thank you. Vice Mayor Jaloski.
The Stillwater Arts Festival is coming up and has more than 50 regional artists participating this year. This free event is open to the public and will be at the Prairie Arts Center at 1001 South Duck Street on Friday, April 18th, noon to 8 p.m., and Saturday, April 19th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. This is a family-friendly event that includes live music, artist demos, food trucks, the farmers market, and much more. For more information, go to www.prairieartcenter.org.
Always a good time. Thank you. Councilor Hawkins.
If you're looking for an environmentally friendly way to save money on your water bill, you may want to obtain a rain barrel through the City of Stillwater. These barrels capture water from your roof and store it for future use. Using rain barrels also helps to reduce stormwater pollution by minimizing the amount of stormwater runoff that leaves the site. Online orders are due by April 28th. For more information, go to stillwaterok.gov/stormwater.
Thank you so much. Councilor Clark.
All right, well, this is the day to celebrate the airport. I have a couple things to mention about them. Back on the middle of March, I received an email from a constituent who was concerned about nighttime visibility at the crosswalk from the remote lots over to the airport terminal, and even included a dash cam picture. And it was a pretty compelling case, and within a week, The airport staff working with the electric utility had a light installed at that crosswalk. So thanks to them for getting that done, and congratulations to them for getting that done. Also, back on March 29th, we had the airport disaster preparedness drill, which we have to do once every 3 years. And we had a whole lot of staff there, airport, police, fire, emergency management, communications, LifeNet, other departments were also there from other municipalities. Meridian Technology Center sent a bunch of students who were phenomenal. They were there to be the passengers on the MD-80 that sits there all the time, that some were injured, some weren't injured. There were some gawkers there that had to be handled by the police. Some of them got put in police cars because they were a little unruly. There were family members there concerned about their family members on the plane. It was a terrific event. I was very impressed with the way staff conducted themselves. So were the evaluators, by the way. The evaluators were very pleased with what they saw. There were certainly things that weren't perfect, and that was the purpose of the drill. And so those things have been identified, and they'll go into the improvement plans going forward. And I just want to commend the airport staff for that as well.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Councilor Harden.
Yes, please mark your calendar for the annual Household Hazardous Waste event on Saturday, April 26th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Convenience Collection Center. This is an opportunity to dispose of oil-based paint, pesticides, herbicides, mixed fuels, and other hazardous materials for free. The Convenience Center is located at 807 South Perkins Road. Will also be open for business as usual when this event occurs. Please visit the city's website for a full list of items that will be accepted.
Thank you. I will, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but we're excited this week to welcome the boys from Oklahoma and several thousand, tens of thousands of attendees and visitors from April 9th through the 14th this week. Shows on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. With many additional events occurring at other venues throughout the community, we're looking forward to a fun-filled and safe few days. Since there will be multiple activities and visitors, the city is partnering with OSU and Visit Stillwater to have a shared text messaging service that you can opt into for event updates, weather notifications, and much more. You will text Boys from OK to 67283, and that would enroll you in the text message alert system. So Boys from OK, text to 67283. There are also 2 websites with great information, including maps of road closures, schedules, parking, and lots more information. You can visit okstate.com/concert, or you can go to visitstillwater.org and go to their landing page on the Boys from Oklahoma concert, where they've got all the other venues that are doing things and all the information that you need to have a great week. So we're really excited about, honestly, a couple 100,000 people who are going to be coming to this. Many of those are going to be from outside of Stillwater. And we're excited for the community to welcome our visitors. This is a very, very welcoming place, I know, and so it's always fun when we have visitors coming from out of town. And I get emails or Facebook messages or Twitter messages about how much people enjoyed being here. So it's really going to be an exciting week for us here in Stillwater. Thanks to everybody who's done so much work to get us ready for this. We just had a call earlier today with some of the planners. Just as a final kind of check-in, and there's a lot of people who have been doing a lot of work to get ready for this event. All right, at this time, I will move that we recess the city council meeting prior to item 11 on the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to recess the city council. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the Stillwater City Council will now be in recess. But in the meantime, I will call to order the Stillwater Economic Development Authority meeting for April 7th, 2025. Trustees, questions, comments, or action on the consent docket?
Motion to approve the consent docket.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve. Please vote. Consent docket's approved with a vote of 5-0. Item 5A is the Stillwater Chamber of Commerce quarterly report from Carrie Moore.
Where's my full screen? Okay. There we are. Council, I am Carrie Moore, Director of Economic Development for the Stillwater Chamber of Commerce. Grateful to be here tonight. As we continue to refine the reports and figure out what is a good flow, I think it's appropriate to, each time we give a report, start with the mission. And so just reminding the community and anybody watching that our mission is to accelerate economic growth through collaborative efforts guided by sustainable and ethical practices. So as we navigate projects or programming, we are asking ourselves, is it sustainable? Is it collaborative? Is it intentional? And of course, is it ethical? We submitted a long-winded report that I feel extremely proud of, but highlighting every single thing in that, we would be here a very long time. So the highlight reel I will go through, then I will go through what the impacts of those are, and then the last slide is what to expect next. And then I figure I'll open for questions if we're all good with that. So the highlights. We have announced and closed Project Rohan as a win. We closed on the land, the sale of the land, and the CLO transfer, and Google announced their acquisition for the data center park, which was exciting. That took an immense amount of time, energy, and effort from the city, from the chamber, from our friends at the CLO office, and so many more. So we are extremely proud of that project. Our site consultant database has grown to over 100 contacts. That is directly that is a direct result of the programming and events that we have attended on a regional and national level. So we're excited to move forward with that and have direct contact with a lot of individuals who are wanting to do what we want to do. So we have launched the Stillwater Economic Development social media accounts. So we are now on Facebook and on Instagram and soon to be on LinkedIn. And then in 3 quarters, if you were to go through that report and look at the metrics, we have exceeded, we have met and if not exceeded almost every section of the contract. There are a couple that we have not yet met, and so we are currently evaluating why that is in the last quarter of our contract, and then developing a plan to move forward. So what's the impact of everything that's in the report? What it's all summed up into is that we're supporting job creation through business recruitment and expansion. We're working on ways to raise the community income level through enhancing existing employment. So those 2 bullet points are key. It takes a lot of partnership and collaboration to do either of those, and part of that is the trust that we have had with the city in having our contract. So we're extremely grateful for that. We're attracting investment in Stillwater. We're getting a lot of calls and a lot of interest about what's happening, why it's happening, and how people can be a part of it. We're attracting a more diverse population to our community, and that's massively important for economic growth. And then we are creating stability and sustainability for economic development to continue within our community. So regardless of who's in this role, they have an excellent framework to move forward and what to expect to step in if needed. Not that we expect anybody else to have to step in. So what to expect moving forward? Continued growth and trust in our partnership. I think I feel in the last year of being in this role, we have made great strides in that. I'm extremely grateful for the time and the monthly touch points, whether that's with Brady or Dawn or whoever on the city team, as well as our partners with Meridian and our community members who show up and are involved in our economic development committee. We're continuing expansion and programming to support creating, retaining, and reinvesting wealth within our community, which is the definition of economic development. We're expanding our network reach to untapped community and regional partners. So we have really engaged in the regional partnership with Oklahoma City. We're growing our partnership with Tulsa, and then we're looking at our surrounding communities that we impact and that we are a hub for as well. And then transparency, not just honesty. So I'm a firm believer that honesty is just answering questions truthfully when asked, but transparency is providing information that people don't know how to ask about. And so our goal is that as we navigate and continue to build trust, we'll have transparency where allowed, right? If there's legality in that with NDAs, but hopefully we're building enough trust that the community understands if we can't share something, it's because we can't, but it's always in the best interest of our community. Any questions? I'm done.
Trustees? What do you need from us?
Continued trust and partnership in those conversations, and feedback is always helpful. And then just really sitting down in the future and identifying what success is going to look like as we transition into the next stage of history for our community.
That's great. I mean, I think this last couple of months has been a pretty banner couple of months for the chamber. The data center project and the announcement of that. I mean, I don't know. When you talked about transparency, a lot of that was under NDA, and so we haven't been talking about it. But the chamber, I mean, they came to the chamber in 2018, and your role in continuing to lease that land so that it would be available for them when they were decided to move forward. Kind of a creative solution to a problem that had to be put in place a few years back. So there's a lot of work that the chamber's done there, and then with Kingspan and that new that work, it's exciting right now at USA Rare Earth. From what I can tell, the political climate is helpful for them. They're manufacturing things here in Stillwater that only places in China really are currently manufacturing, and that's a bit of a stranglehold right now. So it's great to see that they're getting geared up just at a time when we can really play a huge key role in a global market for those rare earth minerals. So again, something that the chamber's been playing a role in. So appreciate the work that y'all are doing. I think the other thing that I've seen, Carrie, from you that I appreciate is just the being out at some of these conferences. It's in the report, some of the site selector conferences and meeting those folks. I mean, I think a big part of this is just making sure people know who we are and know where we are and know what's going on in Stillwater, and continuing to, when press releases that go out that have our name and Google's name in them together, they're very helpful for keeping those eyeballs, but those eyeballs need to have a place to go and to talk to and to say, hey, what's going on in Stillwater? And that's, you being at events and getting the name and the presence out there and building those relationships is really important. I mean, I think a lot of this is dependent on businesses who want to go do things, and we may not be looking at the best economic situations right now, but there's definitely people out there, and we want to be a name that they know and that they recognize, and we want you to be in front of those folks so that when they are looking for those opportunities, Stillwater is an option they start to think of, and that's
Thank you.
So good to see that those relationships are being built.
Thank you. Lots of good conversations, specifically in Orlando at that site selectors. Tariffs is the big talk. So for what it's worth, the feedback from site selectors is that the approach that USA Rare Earth has taken is getting ahead of some of those is what a lot of those companies are wishing they had done, that they would have made decisions and looked at onshoring 3-4 years ago. And so I think that we have an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I think that those, again, just sort of being recognized as a place where that's happening.
They can't come here if they don't know we exist, right?
Exactly. So.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Gary, thanks.
Any reports from the officers of the ward? Is there a motion to adjourn SEDA?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn SEDA. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the Stillwater Economic Development Authority is now adjourned. This time I'll call to order the Stillwater Utilities Authority meeting for April 7th, 2025. Trustees, questions, comments on the consent docket?
I would like to pull item 2B.
Item 2B will be pulled.
And I move approval of item 2A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item A off the consent docket. Please vote. Item is approved with a vote of 5-0. Items removed from the consent docket. Trustee Clark.
Well, I just lost my note. I'm not sure what happened to my note. Anyway, James Driscoll is here. He's going to talk a little bit about Senate Bill 3, which was passed by the Senate overwhelmingly, is now in 2 committees in the House, that would make it illegal to put the sludge from our waste treatment plant into the ground, and without having a whole bunch more processing done first. And we're about to spend $578,000 plus for equipment for that very purpose. And he's going to talk about that, why that's still a good decision, and about why, how we can use that equipment going forward if indeed we can't use it for the intended purpose now.
Good evening, trustees. James Driscoll, Water Utilities Director. As Mr. Clark stated, Senate Bill 3 would reduce land application, we like to call it beneficial land application, of sewage sludge. It would reduce it 25% this year by September 1st, 50% in the following year, and 100% for the third year if it passes. And it's aimed at perfluoroalkyls and polyfluoroalkyls. You'll probably know them better as PFAS or PFOS. However, there's no limits. It just says any. On the water side, there are EPA set limits. On this bill, there are no limits. It flat says any, so all sewage sludge. So with that, why now? Short answer is our current equipment is approaching 15 years of use. That use is in rough fields every day. The current unit is a truck unit. It looks a lot, if you're familiar with fertilizer or spray rigs, with the big trucks with big tires, that's what our current unit is. So it's a modified road truck used in a field application, and it's a very rough environment. The sewage sludge is very corrosive as well, so 15 years hits its limit. So that unit, in short, we don't feel will make it the additional 1, 2, 3 years until we can convert if this passes. So we think it's in the city's best interest to go ahead and purchase replacement equipment to carry us or bridge that gap until we get there. We did look at multiple options this year or for this replacement, and we decided to go with a tractor and trailer injection unit. It gives us flexibility. Instead of spending $500,000 on a dedicated sludge injection unit, most of that, I think 2/3-ish, is on the tractor itself. That tractor can be utilized for many other things other than sludge injection. The trailer unit itself would be the only piece, if this passes, that would go away eventually, and we can still sell it. There's a lot of agricultural uses, dairies, and other animal facilities can still inject their animal waste into the ground or broadcast spray it. All other states except Oklahoma, if this passes, in Maine, could also purchase that equipment to use to inject sludge in those states. It's just our state and Maine would be the only two. Some other uses we could use that tractor for. The existing fields are about 280 acres. We try to produce some hay off that to pull nutrients from the soil so we can continue to inject. This tractor could be utilized to disc that ground, spray that ground, brush hog, and maintain that ground. We can also use it for easements. You're probably familiar with the project to extend and use Lake McMurtry as a secondary source. That easement could be maintained with this equipment, those surrounding grounds as well. So really our only use, to answer your question, only loss would be that one piece of equipment. The tractor could be reused. And we're hopeful that this gets pushed back because there is no science behind the bill currently. And we're hoping it gets pushed back until science can kind of help it out, steer us in the right direction.
There's a lot of faith in our legislature there.
I'm hopeful.
But we appreciate your optimism.
Any questions or anything I didn't explain well?
Yeah, one, are you surface applying or are you injecting now?
It's a great question. Thank you for asking that. We do not surface apply. We subsurface inject. Our units get down about 6 inches. Our spec on this unit was a 6-inch minimum injection depth. This unit will have a plow that actually lifts 6 inches of soil, injects in that open void, and then drops it back down so you don't have as much surface damage.
Things you never knew before you were on city council.
How about that?
Yeah. For what it's worth, I've been in our Oklahoma Municipal League meetings lobbying. We're lobbying against that bill quite heavily, so hopefully
we appreciate that.
There's a lot of cities in the state that don't understand why they would put all that extra expense on us right now. But
Yeah, I think it comes down to smell in some areas. A lot of other places actually broadcast that sludge and then disc it in, and so there is a lot of odor with that. And the feeling is that that's what this bill is aimed at.
Got to do something with it, right?
You have to. Yeah, the only other option is to dewater it and haul it to a landfill. That's would be our current option. To do that, we would have to build a facility to dewater, purchase that equipment with design lead times. That's probably a 3-year minimum setup. And then typical is belt presses. They make screw and centrifugal dewatering devices, but belts tend to be the most economical. Once you dewater, you put it in a truck, haul it to the landfill. So basically, instead of putting it in our ground, we're going to take it to the landfill and put it in that ground, and that's acceptable.
Or
Can't
we can
imagine that
incinerate
facility is going to smell very good either.
Or we can incinerate it.
You can incinerate, but with the PFAS, the incineration temperatures to destroy that to where you don't just put it back into the atmosphere are above what most incinerators will do. So that's not a cost-effective. It is a solution, but not a cost-effective solution. And the dewatering creates a lot of odor. So for Stillwater, it may create more issues than it fixes for odor-wise.
It is just proposed legislation, and so until it passes, our current application method is appropriate, and that's why he's recommending the purchase on the agenda.
That's all.
Trustees?
Yes, I move approval of item 2B.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 2B. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, item 2B is approved. Any reports from the officers of the board? Is there a motion to adjourn SUA?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the SUA. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the Stillwater Utilities Authority is now adjourned. This time, I will reconvene the Stillwater City Council meeting at just before item 11 on the agenda. Is there a motion to enter executive session?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to enter executive session for the reasons requested by the city attorney. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the Stillwater City Council will now be in executive session. All right. Is there a motion to enter back into regular session?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Mayor Joyce?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jolowski?
Yes.
Councilor Hawkins?
Yes.
Councilor Clark?
Yes.
Councilor Harden?
Yes.
With a vote of 5-0, we're back in regular session. I don't think there was any recommended action from the executive session.
No action.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the city council meeting. Please call the roll.
Mayor Joyce?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jolowski?
Yes.
Councilor Hawkins?
Yes.
Councilor Clark?
Yes.
Councilor Harden?
Yes.
With a vote of 5-0, the Stillwater City Council is now adjourned, and that concludes our meetings for the evening.